Hello fellow human, hope you guys have an amazing day and let's read some entitled parent stories. To the first one, M wants to prevent me from becoming a doctor because I pointed out her son's possible disability. I know this headline sounds like I'm the jerk at first, but please hear me out. So, as one can tell by my name, I'm a med student. A couple of months ago, my flatmate went abroad for a year. She had been tutoring a boy in English and German. We're German, and the boy's mother asked if she knew anybody who could replace her while she's gone. As I've done some tutoring before, and I'm fairly good at English and German, my flatmate asked me, and I agreed. When I started, the mother asked me if I could also tutor her sons in maths. They used to have another tutor for that, but she had moved cities recently. I'm not particularly good at maths, but the boy is only like 5th grade, like 10 to 11 years old in Germany, so I said I'd try. However, it became frustrating very quickly. At first, I was seriously wondering how he made it to the 5th grade because he couldn't even do basic addition. I could tell fairly quickly that it definitely wasn't due to lack of will or laziness, he simply couldn't understand numbers at all. For example, they were learning about fractions at the time and he couldn't envision at all what the difference between 2/3 and 3/2 was. I had heard about dyscalculia before, so I did some tests with him, like asking him to tell the time on an analog clock. He was unable to, making him solve a list of addition and subtraction problems in which each was repeated 3 or 4 times, different results for all of them. Asking him to tell me which of two numbers is larger, mostly unable to, etc. I was honestly wondering how neither his parents nor his teacher had never noticed anything. I didn't want to keep getting money for a job I couldn't do. So I sat his mother down after a tutoring session and explained to her that her son has such a massive issues in maths that I'm in no way qualified to help him. I said that he shows a lot of signs of dyscalculia, and while I'm not a professional, and that doesn't mean he has it, I would suggest having him checked by a professional and organized by a professional tutor and not some med student who knows nothing about teaching kids with more serious troubles in school. And she got angry. She told me, and I quote, "Get your ducking shoes and get the duck out of my house." When I asked her what I did, she almost screamed that she would not tolerate strangers telling her that her son was dim-witted or stupid and that this was a normal and honorable family. I tried to explain to her that I was saying the total opposite of that, because her son having that condition would be nobody's fault, and that he just needs specialized help, which is anything but dishonorable. And that's when she started threatening to call the head of my university because someone like me would be totally unfit to treat patients if I call all of them idiots, and that an arrogant tramp like me shouldn't be let loose in a hospital. I knew she couldn't realistically do anything, but it still hurt to hear. I didn't reply anymore at that point and just took my things and left. I haven't heard from her again, or from my uni for that matter, Lamau. But I do feel very sorry for her son, because it doesn't seem like she'll get him the help he needs. Well, I'm glad you tried to help, but unfortunately, a lot of children can slip through the cracks with learning differences. The second story, mom steals my tickets for her kid. This happened pre-COVID. I was at Dave & Buster's with the hubs for date night. I'm playing one of those games where you shoot a coin down a slot and hope it results in pushing multiple other coins off the edge to get the tickets. However, Dave & Buster's no longer gives tickets. You have to insert your game card and when you're done playing to receive your ticket credits. I'm the only one playing one of the machines. There are 5 other empty machines that others could sit and play at. All of a sudden, a woman is standing behind me and she says, "Excuse me, but you have been playing this game a while and my son, probably 6, deserves a turn." Of course, I point out that there are 5 other identical games available, but that is not good enough for her. She says, "I see you have well over 400 points on this game. It is clearly the lucky one." I tried to stick it out, but she's still breathing like a dragon behind me, so I decided to leave. It's not worth it. I'm not even halfway out of the chair before the little kid is in my chair. No kidding. We touch butts as I'm sliding over. Mom pushes me out of the way. And I say, excuse me, but I need to put in my card to get my tickets? The freaking tramp takes her son's card and shoves it in, looks at me and says, "Sorry, he's playing now, and they are his tickets. You're clearly too old to be here anyway. A child deserves them more." I was 24 at the time, and this is D&B. it caters to adults, it's not some friggin' Chuck E. Cheese. Now, I'm not one to cause a scene, but I had spent a lot of my credits on that game. Of course, I went to the security and threw a fit. They went over to the woman and told her that she needs to let others take their tickets before playing, but of course, she played dumb. In the end, they gave me twice as many tickets credits as I was supposed to get, but also let her keep the ones she stole, most likely to avoid a huge blow-up. I cannot believe how arrogant people are. Some people seriously need to understand that they have to and shouldn't have children. The third story. M tells me to cover up at the pool. The weather has been getting nice in my area lately, and my friends and I, 15 years old female, decided to go to our community pool. I wore a regular two-piece bathing suit you'd expect to see at a pool. The thing is, I have a bunch of self-harm scars and marks on my thighs, upper stomach, shoulders, and upper arms, and they were all exposed in a bathing suit. I wasn't overly worried about them though. I was just hanging out and doing my thing with my friends, not bothering anyone else. I was sitting in a chair and talking to a friend when this lady approaches and asks me to cover up my legs and arms because she didn't want to see all those marks and didn't want them to have an effect on her kids. They look like to be preteen girls. I just told her that I wanted to enjoy the sun the same as everyone else, and she left in a huff, but not before turning to my friend and telling her that I was a tramp. I know it wasn't a big deal and that my friend didn't care, but it was still embarrassing, as some people around us turned to look at me strangely, and I didn't welcome the unwanted attention. I wasn't even talking to those kids, and again, I was just doing my thing by the pool like everyone else. This was the first time I've ever openly shown those scars, so I was already nervous as hell, and originally was pretty torn up about this and felt bad for possibly having an impact on this lady's kids. But I know now that she was the one being crappy, but I'm never wearing a swimsuit again in my life. Oh please, do not let a narrow-minded Karen to stop you from showing your scars. The fourth story. Entitled Dad thinks he can ban me from my dog park. It was my day off, so I brought my pup to the park. There was nobody else there, so I was kicking a soccer ball around for her and doing some shuttle runs since I needed to work out too. After we had been there for about 30 minutes, I noticed a family, dad, mom, 2 kids, small dog, sitting near the fence looking like they were waiting to go in. I didn't really think much of it and kept playing for 10 more minutes. When we were leaving, the dad stopped me at the gate and said, you shouldn't be here. No aggressive dogs allowed. I was confused because my dog was the only dog in the park, so how could she have been considered aggressive? I was also a little offended because when I first adopted my dog, she was reactive, specifically to bigger dogs that run up on her very quickly or try to mount her. But I had been working with a professional trainer as well as my dog sitter who owned big dogs, and she no longer growls or shows teeth when a big dog approaches her. Note, I wasn't taking her to the dog park during her training, and even now, I stay close by when a big dog approaches her just in case. And I said, how is my dog being aggressive? She didn't even notice your dog. And he responds, oh, that's a pit bull, right? Pit bulls are an aggressive breed. I'm sick of constantly seeing pit bull owners who think they own the park. Now, there are a lot of pit bull mixes at the park, especially during busy times like after work, but I've never seen anyone acting like they own the park as he describes it. And I said, the sign doesn't say no aggressive breeds. It says, dogs demonstrating aggressive behavior must be leashed and removed immediately. My dog wasn't acting aggressive, so there isn't a problem. He threatens to call the city and have me banned permanently from the dog park. And I said, you don't know my name. What are you going to say? There was a pit bull and an owner alone at the dog park? Well, good luck with that. He kept trying to talk to me, but I just ignored him and walked home. Hope he and his family enjoyed the dog park. Oh man, the freaking audacity. Who the hell does he think he is? The fifth story. Entitled Mother refuses to look after me when I have a kidney infection. This happened a year ago, and my entitled mother thinks she did nothing wrong still. This happened when I, 18 years old female, was 16 and was still living with my entitled mother. I woke up one morning in extreme pain coming from my bladder when I went to the bathroom that morning with huge blood clots leaving my body. My entitled mother took me to the doctors right away and they had to take a sample of my urine. I should also mention that I was struggling to walk as the pain was that bad. Anyway, after looking at the sample and doing some tests, I was diagnosed with a kidney infection, but luckily, I didn't need to go to A&E. I was taken home and had to miss college. My boyfriend, still together, and I were only dating for a week at that point, but I called him and told him what had happened so he couldn't see me that day. He said he would come over as soon as he finishes all of his classes for that day to come look after me. Well, throughout the whole day, my mother refused to feed me, give me pain meds, or even see me, despite the fact that I had started to develop a fever and started to become very sick. By the time my boyfriend came around, he checked my temperature and said I was too hot to touch and opened all the windows in my room and found a fan to try and cool me down. After this whole thing, I was finally able to sleep and he kept an eye on me as he let me sleep on his chest. When I woke up, he had some pain meds for me to take and told me my entitled mother wouldn't tell him where they were, so he had to ask my younger brother, who had no idea I was sick. He thought I was still in college. Bless him. So they raided the kitchen until they found some. Seconds later, my entitled mother offered my boyfriend food and my stomach growled, but she chose to ignore that. My boyfriend heard this and said he wanted a cheesy toasty, but would like it cut in half. She did just that, and he gave me the other half while she just glared at him. My boyfriend stayed till 10 p.m. to make sure I was alright and had his parents pick him up. After he left, she banned him from coming over and I asked why. I was given no reason. I told him the next day, and guess what? He turns up in his rugby uniform and stayed for another 2 hours before leaving for his rugby. To say she was pissed was an understatement. He laughed the next day when I was able to return to college when I told him what happened. The thing is, my entitled mother has never fed me when I'm sick or have an infection, and I don't know why, but that is how it is. However, she always makes sure my younger brother is fed and well medicated whether he's sick, so I think he's just favored more than me. I should also mention that my brother isn't entitled at all, but is one of the sweetest people I know and is famous for his hugs in his primary school. And about a month later, I moved out of her home into my awesome dad and stepmom's, and I've been loving it theirs ever since. My boyfriend, dad, and stepmom all get along great, so I'm happy for that. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is what a good man looks like. The sixth story. Karen wants me to leave my own party. Some context here. I was in the army for 5 years and was near an IED when it exploded and have some scars on my arms and legs. Cast, me, my wife, Karen's husband, Karen, and her kid. This took place 2 years ago and we had a semi-big 4th of July party. It was hot out and I had shorts and a tank top on. Some scars were visible, but most were fixed with surgery. The main one was on my arm and running from my shoulder to my elbow. A kid asked me why I had it and I just said I got hurt. He just walked away to his mom and dad. I was standing at the grill like any dad at a party, and Karen just stormed over and just started yelling that what I told her son traumatized him. I was confused for a minute before she pointed at my arm. Apparently, I was an awful person for doing this. The yelling attracted my wife and Karen's husband. The husband was mad at me because I made his wife angry and whatnot. My wife tried to calm them down with me to no use. Karen yelled that I need to leave my own party because I was big and scary to the kids, and she thought that I was threatening to her. I apologized for looking scary, but I also explained that I will not leave my own party, but her family is free to leave. We ended up just asking them to leave after a loud argument. The worst part is that I burned the burgers. Oh no, not the burgers! She should come over with a new stack and leave again. The seventh story. M says she knows the owner, so her son should get free classes. Cast, me. M entitled mother, M master. That is his official title. Backstory. I've helped teach martial arts. I've been doing martial arts for 10 years, but only been teaching for about 5, maybe 6. I've become close with my teacher. He's like a father to me. I've been to family events. I've been to his home many times to have sleepovers with his daughter. He picks me up from school. I've gone to tournaments with him. Clarification. We stay in separate hotel rooms. I'm a minor and he has permission to take me to tournaments, etc. You get the point. Story. Anyways, so we usually teach class together, but if someone comes in, I usually go to that and he continued teaching. Well, one day, a woman comes in and immediately starts flagging me down in the middle of the class, so I excuse myself and walk over there. Me, hello? How can I help you? Why are you so slow? Me, pardon? Next time an adult calls you over, you need to come immediately. Do you understand? I really didn't want to start something, so I said, yes ma'am, and we continued. Me, what can I help you with today? I want to sign my son up for classes. Me, okay, let me get a schedule and the payment options. Oh, just the schedule. Me, pardon? I will only need the schedule. I don't have to pay. I know the owner, and he said I can take for free. Me, miss, I can't do that. I'm not the owner. You can and you will. Do I make myself clear? I want free classes for my angel now. Yes, she said angel. At this point, I'm getting agitated because I have severe anxiety when I get yelled at. So I start darting my eyes around and M catches my eyes. He gives me the, you okay look? And I just shake my head no. He gets the kids doing stuff and walks over. Master, hello, what can I do for you? Finally, a responsible adult. Next time I come in here, this slow tramp better not take forever. Anyways, I know the owner of this establishment and he said I can put my son here for free, so snap it. Me, excuse me, I'm going to go and continue with the kids. Master, oh no, you can stay right here with me. You're okay. So you're going to defend her? I want to speak to the owner. Master, well, you're looking at him. Miss, I own this establishment. This is my business that I built from ground up. Now, I would greatly appreciate it if you apologize to OP and leave my business now. You have no right to call her anything other than Miss last name. You're agitating her and the other children and I do not appreciate it. Well, for your information, he's very protective of all of us. Rolling eyes. Sorry. She promptly stomped out of there and never came back. After that, we ended class early because Master knew we were all agitated. And we just talked for about like 30 minutes. If you made this far, thanks for reading. Here's an important tip for you Karens out there. Even if you know the owner, that doesn't give you any advantages. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.